Mozart, who started to compose when he was 4 years old, referred to this piece as variations on the French folk song, Un vous dirai-je maman, but I will bet anything that you will recognize it by its English language name.
Thank you so much, Adam. Good morning. I'm Tracy Breneman, a religious educator for this congregation. This morning would normally be the Juneteenth worship service, but we've had some schedule changes, so we look forward to the Juneteenth service on July 5th. This morning, we're celebrating religious education, and RE Sunday is going to look a little different, as pretty much everything does right now, and it will be extremely familiar because we are a resilient community and there is light that shines through. So our worship theme this morning is community and resilience. Because my goodness, 2020 has been calling on our deepest reserves of resilience, and our young people especially have risen to the challenges. School moved to dining room tables, and milestones took the form of yard signs, drive-by parties, and sending notes online of congratulations and encouragement. This morning is a joyful celebration of this community as we embrace new traditions and savor what is good and rich in our togetherness, whatever form that takes.
Good morning. Welcome to virtual worship from Community Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I am Laura Sehdeva, a member of our congregation's Religious Education Council. We are delighted to welcome you on this 14th Sunday of spring with the new moon. Whether you are nearby or on the other side of the world, thank you for being with us. And we especially welcome our visitors today. If you are a first-time attendee, please let us know by introducing yourself in the chat. The chat is also for reporting any technical issues. When you send a chat, check to make sure you are sending to all attendees and panelists, and not just to panelists, so everyone will see your message. If you are visiting with us this morning, you will find the order of service on our website, CUUCWP.org, along with all our resources to help keep us connected during this time. Remember that if your audio isn't working, you can listen to the service by calling in by phone. The number is in the order of service, which was sent to you by email and is posted on our website. We have a number of ways you can support and care for our community. In June, we are sharing the plate with the Ramapo Lenape Indian Nation in New Jersey to help fund needed repairs to their community center. You may contribute by clicking the donate button on our website or by sending a check to CUUC with Share the Plate Ramapo in the memo line. You can find our mailing address on our website. We are now able to take contributions via PayPal for your pledge, the Plate Share, Minister's Discretionary Fund, and Benevolent Fund. Again, you will find the donate button on the home page of our website at CUUCWP.org. Thank you for joining us this morning. It is an honor for us to make space to be together.
Oh, when the kids go marching in. Oh, when the kids go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the kids go marching in. Oh, when the drums begin to bang. Oh, when the drums begin to bang. Oh, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the drums begin to bang. Oh, when the horns begin to play. Oh, when the horns begin to play. Oh, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the horns begin to play. Oh, when the cellos begin to burn. Oh, when
greatest purpose. Accepting one another is the truest form of faithful living. The search for truth is our constant star. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands
to challenge injustice with courage, to find hope in times of fear, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as a beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. We now invite you at home to light your own chalice.
Good morning. We acknowledge that which binds us in community through spoken and sung words that connect us to who we are. The mission of Community Unitarian Universalist Congregation was adopted in 2014. It is the promise, the vow, that all who are members here covenant to uphold. I invite you to say it along with me. We covenant to nurture each other in our spiritual journeys, foster compassion and understanding within and beyond our community, and engage in service to transform ourselves and our world. Now let us sing and affirm together the aspiration from We Would Be One.
CUUC's RE program didn't go as expected in 2020, just as nothing else in anyone's lives went as planned. But we are so proud of the children and youth in RE for the many ways that they persevered through the pandemic and the challenges of homeschooling and being away from friends and family. Our theme for the RE year was celebrating many beliefs. Each of the K through 9th grade classes explored this theme, whether by studying the beliefs of others or delving deeply into their own beliefs. Our K1 class learned how so many faiths share our belief in the worth and dignity of all people. The 4th and 5th grade studied Judeo-Christian beliefs in Babylonian by learning stories such as David and Goliath. And the 6th and 7th grade neighboring faiths class visited a Hindu temple, for example, before their visits were disrupted by the coronavirus. Our plans for the year included enhancing multi-generational interaction, which was accomplished by having the children and youth start each Sunday in the sanctuary. After testing out a children's area at last year's multi-congregation service, Tracy spearheaded the creation of a quiet activity area in the sanctuary. So many of our young friends were able to read, draw, and create while listening quietly to the service and songs alongside their families. In addition to the quiet area, many of our young congregants enjoyed an images and activities order of service. It felt good to bring together the two wings of CUUC, and we truly appreciate our congregants of all ages for welcoming the kids in with smiles and patience. We accomplished many other things this year, small and large, from OWL classes for the K1 group to the inspiring coming of age service last month to movie nights for the youth group.
Everything changed in March, of course, as we transitioned to our new virtual lives. Through Tracy's vision, we were able to offer families opportunities to connect and resources to guide them as they became their children's teachers, coaches, and spiritual guides. With thanks to Tracy, we held together as a community by engaging in weeknight story time. Barbara Mayer, Amy, Nathan, Reverend Meredith, and Tracy read some classic chapter books. Jonathan never missed a night. Nora, Austin, Jocelyn, Duncan, Tycho, and other children participated too. Diane also had story and music time for our youngest children, including Aria, Ellie, Karen, and Austin. In addition, we held online junior youth group and Zoom classes, thanks to our teachers, youth advisors, and Lyra. As a congregation, we were confronted with the devastating racial injustice and the outrage that motivated large majorities of citizens to stand up for reform. As a congregation, we have long turned to our racial justice team for guidance, and more so during these times. The racism in all sectors of our society underscores the value of teaching our children about UU principles. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, our children learned from Jim Cobb, Rhonda Morgan, and Amy Nathan in January how our country's past and present challenged us as Unitarian Universalists to speak up against racism in all forms. We thank all of the children, youth, and teaching volunteers who make RE an enriching experience for everyone involved. As appreciation for our teachers' hard work and commitment this year, CUUC REC will be donating $250 to Hope Community Services in your name. Looking ahead to next year, we invite you to join us and maybe one of our teaching teams. From nursery to youth group, we'd love for you to share your talents with our youngest congregants. It's a modest time commitment and it's so rewarding. We're so grateful to our director for lifespan education, Tracy Breneman, for her vision, leadership, and hard work. Thank you.
Swimming by Leo Leon. A happy school of little fish lived in a corner of the sea somewhere. They were all red. Only one of them was black as a mussel shell. He swam faster than his brothers and sisters. His name was Swimmy. One bad day, tuna fish, swift, fierce, and very hungry, came darting through the waves. In one gulp, he swallowed all the little red fish. Only Swimmy escaped. He swam away in the deep, wet world. He was scared, lonely, and afraid. But the sea was full of wonderful creatures, and as he swam from marvel to marvel, Swimmy was happy again. He saw a Medusa made of rainbow jelly, a lobster who walked about like a water-moving machine. Strange fish pulled by an invisible thread. A forest of seaweed growing from sugar candy rocks. An eel whose tail was almost too far away to remember. And sea anemones who looked like pink palm trees swaying in the wind. Then hidden in the dark shade of rocks and weeds, he saw a school of little fish just like his own. "Let's play and swim and go see things," he said happily. "We can't," said the little red fish. "The big fish will eat us all." "You can't just lie there," said Swimmy. "We must think of something." swimming thought and thought and thought. Then suddenly he said, I have it. We're going to swim all together like the biggest fish in the sea. He taught them to swim close together, each in his own place. And when they had learned to swim like one giant fish, he said, I'll be the eye. And so they swam in the cool morning water and in the midday sun and chased all the big fish away. The end.
This reading is Rick Hoyt's Beyond Borders. Go forth, because we are always going forth from somewhere, going from our homes, going from our childhoods and younger selves, going from our cities and states and countries, going from innocence to experience to enlightenment, finding borders, testing borders, crossing borders. Go forth into the night, because we are always going into some night. Go into mystery, going into questions, going into the desert, getting to the other side. Go forth, eagerly or reluctantly, leaving behind the comfort and joy and community and familiarity of one place. Go forth into the anxiety and sadness and loneliness and strangeness of some other place. Carry with you the love and laughter of this place, and let it light your spirit and your life and your way as you make your journey. Carry with you the wisdom you learned and the good memories of this place, and may they give you strength for your journey. And when you have been away long enough, far enough, done what you set off to do, been there so long that that place too starts to feel like home, come back. Come back. Come back to the one, universal, everywhere and everyone and everyone, inclusive home. This beloved community of all creation that you cannot ever really leave.
Hi, good morning. Bridging is one of the annual rites that all UUs do. It is a bridging to young adulthood, but it is also a bridge to the larger world. Cindy and I have had the pleasure of having some of you in class for a number of years and some just briefly. You have shaped us as I hope that our community has shaped you. Go out and change the world in the loudest way possible.
To honor this transition and ground you in your values, the congregation is giving you gifts that reflect the music, words, and rituals of our faith. We have a hymnal for each of you with notes of congratulations and encouragement from members of the congregation and a traveling chalice. We hope they will remind you of this community that will always hold you dear. For those who have not yet had a chance to write a note for your hymnals, we invite you to do so this morning using the link on our website or the link we will post into the chat box now. We have another milestone to celebrate. Imelda Cruz Avalon is completing her bachelor's degree, surrounded by so many amazing people, including her spiritual community at CUUC.
We honor the work she has done and celebrate this moment with her too.
Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hi, this is Imelda and Aria saying hi to all of our friends at CUUC. We miss you.
Hi. I like CUC because, or I love it, because it's such a good community, and everyone is really loving, and I feel that if I was ever needed someone to talk to, I could always just go to someone there, and they would all accept me. That's one reason. There's also that it's just a really fun place. I'm always excited to go on Sundays. So yeah.
Hello, I am Tycho. Hi, I'm Duncan. My favorite thing about CUC is the community brunches, not just because of the food, but because of the people too. My favorite thing about CUC is the RE, because I learned so many new things, especially the Bible stories. My favorite one is David and Goliath.
One thing I love about CUC is getting to learn about other cultures and religions.
I like CUC because it's a nice, peaceful place, and I get to spend time with my friends and learn about RE.
Hi. One of my favorite things about CUC is the people, especially some of the smaller people, the children and youth that I think are amazing young people. I'm honored that I was able to teach RE to the 2nd and 3rd graders, and so happy to get to know them, their creativity, their openness, their energy, their endless energy, and I feel like I'm a better person for having known them.
Well, first of all, I really enjoyed the events, and some of the events are good, and some of them are not as good as they could have been. Well, I think that's all I got to say, but I hope we can get through this virus, and hopefully I'll see one of my all-time favorite friends again. Well, CUC, we'll see you real soon.
I love that at CUC we can learn about stuff that we usually wouldn't learn about otherwise, and it's a great community and fun to learn at.
But the church is closed.
The church is closed. What do you like to do at church?
Where's Diane?
Diane is at her house.
How is your home?
You would like to see Diane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else would you like to see?
Arya.
Hi, I'm Logan. And I'm Aiden. We want to give a special shout out to Cindy and Daniel for helping us out with Senior Youth Group this year, as well as Imelda and Jason. Thank you guys so much. Without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. You really bring a lot to the group.
What I love most about CUC is that you're allowed to believe your own religion. Many people from different religions come to this place, and people don't tell you what to believe. You could just believe it by yourself. Also, many people in CUC are looking out to help other people. Like when I was trying to get my faith emblem, Alex was nice enough to help me out and help me finish it so I could get my faith emblem. It's a fair and loving community. I liked it very much, and it's been very fun for me.
I like CUC because it's a place where people can gather and learn about different religions. I can also meet different people through several ways. I like doing pen pals where you write notes, and then after a couple of weeks, you can then meet the person you've been writing to. Then at the end of the day, we can celebrate together.
This is Salia, and we did meeting. It's play with our friends. Bye!
Don't you just love seeing all those faces? That was so beautiful. Thank you all so much for sending in those videos. As we look ahead to next year in religious education, there is some uncertainty. When can we gather again in physical proximity and experience the fullness of our community, to see the faces we just saw in that beautiful compilation in person? What will it look like when we do return to our building? It's exciting to imagine that some of the new practices we've developed in recent months might continue in some form, opening new opportunities for faith development and community. And it's reassuring to know that the core and beloved aspects of who we are together have not changed. That familiarity is so sweet. Joe Majak and Debbie Mineta are leading the team that will manage our transition. What is not uncertain is that the values of our faith are desperately needed, solidly and visibly. The Unitarian Universalist Association's Commission on Institutional Change has been charged with supporting long-term cultural and institutionalized change that redeems the essential promise and ideals of Unitarian Universalism. In their recent report, Widening the Circle of Concern, they name key trends and ask, how will our living tradition keep up with the times? What choices will we make or fail to make? And how will they affect the relevancy and survival of our faith? This report is available free online for the next week only, then for purchase through the UUA bookstore. Pam included information about the materials in our newsletter this week, and I hope you'll click those links. The report is an astonishing and loving look at our faith, the ideals we aspire to, and the reality of where we are. I agree with those who believe that work to promote equity, inclusion, and diversity is not optional for our faith, but a form of spiritual practice and necessary to fully live into the values of our faith. That's not just outside our walls, but inside our own systems and practices. The quote from the report included in the newsletter this week is this: in spite of the promise of our movement, we still need to address the biases and oppression within our systems to build resilience in our living traditions for the times we are in, and to strengthen it for future generations. This work of becoming more equitable and inclusive is justice work, inside and outside our walls. Core in our faith is the call to action that carries with it a responsibility to connect the values of our faith to the ways in which we teach our young people to carry those values into the world. So for our theme next year, the Religious Education Council has chosen justice and equity, as these are central in the development of Unitarian Universalist identity. We will deepen our partnerships with the skillful and dedicated social justice leaders we have in this congregation, supporting existing initiatives and affording our young people opportunities to find their voice. For example, our racial justice team recently sent a letter to our state capitol urging legislators and our governor to listen to the cries for true and equitable justice systems that respect the rights of all human beings, and naming support for proposed police reform legislation. They noted that our Unitarian Universalist faith leads us to believe that the arc of the moral universe shall bend toward justice. However, it's only through our conscience and our actions that this can be true. Indeed, Jeff Tomlinson and I had talked about him taking our youth up to Albany this spring to participate in direct action. When conditions permit, we will revisit those plans. We also have the example of our hunger and homelessness team and brunch committee providing extra support for Hope Community Kitchen. Nicole Turgeon and Steve Miller have been coordinating CUUC's participation in an extraordinary effort dedicated to ensuring that our communities have access to food during this crisis. I encourage you to reach out to them to find ways to support this work. Even our youngest members can get involved in this. If you're having conversations at home about racial justice, equity, and privilege, know that we continue updating the resource page for families, which you'll find on our website. And there is always need for support and protection of our LGBTQPIA+ children, and youth, for Indigenous communities, and for other groups with traditionally targeted and marginalized identities. The need is great, and this is a moment when we are especially called into this work. The RE Council and I look forward to planning for next year, and when we bring into focus what the year will look like, we will call for leaders. But you don't have to wait for that. We're getting started next week, and we welcome new participants on our team. If this is work you feel called to help bring to our children and youth, we look forward to you joining us in any form. Indeed, we do believe that the arc of the moral universe can bend toward justice if we work to make it so. And even as we look to the future, we are grounded in the present as we hold each other's joys and sorrows here and now. We bring our full selves to this place, and here we find comfort in community. I share this prayer from Robin Greene. Giver of life, we wait with you to bear your hope to earth's darkest places. We wait at the places where darkness is deeper than the deepest pain. Where love is denied, let love break through. Where justice is destroyed, let righteousness rule. Where hope is crucified, let faith persist. Where peace is no more, let passion live on. Where truth is denied, let the struggle continue. Where fear is paralyzed, let forgiveness break through. Where laughter has dried up, let the music play on. Let us hold our sorrows. Let us savor the ordinary and uncomplicated moments, and let us joyfully celebrate what is good. We're now grateful to hear CUUC youth Wesley Miller share his gorgeous talent. As Wesley plays, you're invited to share your joys and sorrows with those around you and in the chat. Joys and sorrows sometimes go unspoken for many reasons, but as we hold one another in our hearts, we are not alone.
Thank you. Thank you, Wesley, for that beautiful, beautiful music. These words are by Eric Walker Wickstrom. If you are who you were, and if the person next to you is who or she was, if none of us has changed since the day we came in here, we have failed. The purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another, in the other, whoever that might be for us, however hard that might be, because these encounters have many gifts to offer. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be. So may we all.
And now for the chalice extinguishing words. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others.
May we as people of faith be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving.
And now I invite everyone to extinguish their chalice.